You want to know what the narcissist's 6 weak spots are? By the end of this video, you are going to know what they are. And yes, they do have them. Yes, I know you think they don't, but they do. So stay tuned and find out what they are. Hey there, I'm Rebecca Zung. I am a narcissist negotiation expert. I am a lawyer, an author. And if you are so ready to shift the dynamic, you are so ready to have real tips and tricks and real resources to actually become powerful with narcissists, then feel free to subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell. All right, so let's talk about what it takes to actually become powerful against narcissists and really find out what their weak spots are. They do have at least 6 weak spots, and we're going to talk about what those are today. First of all, one of their weak spots are that they are greedy. They are so greedy. And yes, I know you might not think that that is a weak spot, but it is. And especially in negotiations, because they don't know when to stop. They don't know when to stop themselves. And so there's a dance that happens in negotiations. There's a dance as to when to stop, as to when to know, okay, when is enough enough? When is it a good time to actually make the call to get the resolution done, to actually enter into the agreement so that all the parties can be happy and you can actually sign the agreement, and especially during litigation. And the reason I'm telling you this is because if you sign an agreement during litigation, then it is a contract. It is done. But all the parties are done. It is now bound by contract law. If you don't sign during a litigation and it proceeds to a trial of some sort, even if you win 100% of everything, the other side can appeal. That means that you can go on forever and ever and ever. Well, not really, but it kind of seems like that because appeals can take a long time. They're very, very expensive and hard to win. So it's really, really better if you can actually settle in a mediation or an arbitration or a dispute resolution setting. And the fact that narcissists are so greedy is actually a weak spot for them. So that's number one. They are greedy. Huge weak spot for them. Number two is they are jealous. They're so jealous. They covet everything about people. They're super insecure, and that makes them super weak because they look over at people. They feel like, why do they have this? Why do they have that? Who deserves that? I deserve this. So they can never be happy, for one thing. And it also makes them weak. It exposes them to all sorts of weaknesses. You know, the people who are happy for other people are way stronger, way more powerful than the people who are constantly looking at other people. I always say, like, the people who are running their own race are way more powerful than the people who are like looking behind them constantly. That slows you down, right? I mean, you know how when you're running a race and you're looking behind you to see who's like behind you, that does slow you down. And that's what happens with narcissists. They're constantly looking to see what's going on and surveying to see what's happening. And that really, really does slow them down. And so their jealousy does slow them down. And that is definitely a weak spot for them. So that's number two. They are so jealous. All right. Number three, another weak spot of theirs is that they just don't see other people's points of view. They have absolute blinders on. They have no ability to see anybody's points of view other than their own. And of course, this is a huge weak spot when it comes to negotiations, when it comes to having conversations with people, when it comes to being open to any kind of resolution, because obviously, if you want to get anything done, if you want people to feel like they matter, I wrote a whole book on this, Negotiate Like You Matter. You want people to feel like they're being seen and heard, because that makes things much more likely to move forward. Then you should be able to see other people's points of view. And the fact that they don't have that ability is definitely a weak spot for them. And they don't even realize what a weak spot it is for them. And, they tend to lie all the time. I did a whole video, by the way, on what happens when you catch a narcissist in a lie. And they lie about everything, even things they don't need to lie about, which is very, very puzzling to me, by the way. I don't even understand that at all, but that's what happens. Anyway, you can definitely check out that video if you'd like. So that was number 3. Number 4 is they cannot take criticism at all of any kind. I always joke that narcissists hear tones in people's voices like dogs hear whistles. Like, even if there's like no tone at all, you're just saying something, they hear tone. I mean, they're hyper sensitive because they have no sense of self. They have no inner sense of value. So they're very, very thin-skinned people. I mean, they definitely are those people that can never take a joke. That old saying, like, they can dish it out, but they can't take it. That is so definitely them. They can never take criticism. They can never learn from their mistakes. They can never take even criticism that might be good for them, like feedback that may be good for them, that might actually help them. So obviously that is a weak spot of theirs, because, it might actually help them to improve. So that is the next one, number 4. Number 5 is that they are just paranoid. I mean, they think that people are after them all the time, even when people aren't. They just think people are against them constantly. They see the world as black and white. They see the world as people are for them or against them. And if they're not for them, then they must be against me. And if this person isn't on their side, then they must be their enemy. They live in this world of friends and enemies and absolutes constantly. And everybody believes this or no one believes that. And it's a very, very soul-sucking environment. And if you believe that they're just complete soul suckers, give me a soul suckers in the comments below. Aren't they just like complete soul suckers? I know when I was dealing with it, that's how I felt, like just like energy sucking all the time. So that's number 5. And number 6 is one of their biggest weak spots is that they're liars. And I am telling you, I know you guys don't think that this is a weak spot. It is a huge weak spot. And this is something that you can definitely use as leverage when you are going to negotiate with them. And it is a huge thing that I tell people all the time. When you're creating your strategy, when you're creating your leverage, when you're creating your whole negotiation strategy, I talk about this in my Slay program a lot, but you can definitely use this against them. They're huge liars. It's a compulsion for them. And it is something that they will not think that you will be able to pick up on the patterns and actually use it against them. But for sure, it's a huge weak spot for them. So if you are dealing with a narcissist in any kind of situation in a negotiation setting, for sure, grab my free Crush My Negotiation prep worksheet at winmynegotiation.com. It is a free ebook. It's 15 pages. Do not go into a negotiation without it. Totally free. I've had people win their entire negotiations with it. So just grab it, winmynegotiation.com. And if you like this video, give it a like, give it a share, drop me that comment. Tell me that you think they're soul suckers or what other weak spots you guys have seen. All right. And if you want to stick around, you want more free resources, free tips and tricks, feel free to subscribe to this channel. Subscribe, hit that notification bell. And if you want to join my free private Facebook group for more support, feel free to do that too. Narcissist Negotiators with Rebecca Zung. Please remember that narcissists are always the worst right before they're ready to give up. So never give in, never give up. Today is always a great day to start negotiating your best life. I'm Rebecca Zung. I am so glad you're here, and I will definitely see you in the next video.